Well, that's embarrassing. I started the recording before I opened the game. Sorry, guys. I'll open it now. That's a bit embarrassing. I'm done. Anyway, I just watched a playthrough of PT Silent Hills. It was no commentary because that's the best way to enjoy that game. Commentary ruins the fear. Um, but it brought back fucking memories from when I played it in 2018 because I had my friend had it on his PS4 and that thing is probably worth like thousands of dollars because of that now. Like, come on, open. Hello, game. Jesus Christ. All right, it's open. Good. Let's load into this. Where was the load? It was here. Yeah, here. Okay, so before I get into this, what in the hell? I did click it twice, so I guess that makes sense. But yeah, PT was just a fucking. It's still the most horrifying game. I wouldn't even call it just the most horrifying interactive experience I have ever had with me. I wouldn't say horrifying, because horrifying is more the immediate terror of seeing something scary. It's terrifying. Yeah, it's a terrifying game. Ugh. I still remember when I played it. I had my friend in the room with me, and we were kind of joking around, but then by the time Lisa first showed up in the hallway, it was just silence. Like he just wouldn't talk, and I couldn't either. I was so fucking freaked out. Anyway, enough of the reminiscing on what could have been one of the best Silent Hill games ever. Let's just get into this. Just keeping up with Murdoch is a workout on its own. What the? Just a day, and I'm already starting to miss my time at the brothel. Doesn't take much time at all to get in the mood for my last client. Oh, great. Guess I have to pause it, guys. He wants my mouth, and I just want. Okay. Doesn't matter who he is. Oh, boy. Interesting, Sam. Feels good to have this energy again. Jesus Christ. Oh. Thanks is all he says before he leaves, and for once I'm grateful. Things rarely get to be just transactional. Oh my god. Dude, oh my god, stop basing your life off this. You deserve so much better, Sam. My god. I'm starting to think that the sex and horrors line of work ain't the thing that bothers me. It's when a client knows that they ain't just trade money for a service, but a part of your life. And trying to get as much of that for free as they can. I know I can't whore forever, but I don't think I'd just be a shopkeeper the rest of my life. Can't stay put being just one thing forever. Wonder if Murdoch isn't out. Suppose that's his problem to worry about. But we both share a bigger problem. I know we both saw what happened to that picture. This is why I don't like being alone with my thoughts for too long. Hard to think about these things when there's a dick to focus on. And there's the ticker. There's the ticker. But like obviously it's an echo game because it takes place in Echo, but like that's when you know it's an Echo game when like it starts saying things like It's hard to focus on these things when I have a needle in my arm or a dick in my mouth, you know, shit like that. That's when you know this is a true echo game. It's either drugs or sex that keep this thing at bay, which is fucking just obviously part of its strategy to keep its victims where it wants them, you know? A job to do and a jolt of bliss. Easy, simple, alive. So I'm going back to that shop in the morning, and I'll stay for as long as it suits me. I didn't sleep the best last night. Being out about in the daily helps limber me up. The front of the store looks less crowded than yesterday. Step inside. Alfred is handling a few customers at the front. I stroll around the store looking for Murdoch. There's no sign of anywhere. Walk toward the I walk towards the back closet where the darkroom is and knock on it. Nobody answers. You know, I know, like, I keep saying that I live in Georgia and all that, and, like, you're probably wondering, this is a weird train of thought. Anyway, you're probably wondering, why don't you have an accent then? Why don't you have a fucking southern accent? That's because I didn't grow up in the South. I was born here in Georgia, but I grew up basically my entire childhood up north in various states. First, I was born down here in Noonan, and then we moved up to Cincinnati in Ohio, obviously, then Newton Falls in Ohio, then to Whitewater, Wisconsin, then down to somewhere near Wentzville, Missouri. And we were up in Madison, and then we're down in Fayetteville, and now I'm here in Dallas. Lots of shit, and like that's why I don't have a southern accent. That's why I don't naturally have one like Sam does, because he keeps talking about the Magnolia State. So it's very obvious to me he's Georgian. I mean, magnolia trees are all over the states. You know, that's the thing. Whatever. And enough with the fucking random asides. I lean my head against the door for a few brief seconds. Judging by the lack of sound, nobody's inside. Just those pictures of Jack, sitting in the dark, all by themselves. Funny, ain't it? Even your photographs end up abandoned the ass crack of the world. Just like old times, eh? You dirty old bastard. This is a waste of time. This is a waste of time. Fucking hell, I need to stop. I know the room's locked, and Ralph or Alfred would ask questions if I had lurked about on the door for too long. Huh. Is that Murdoch? Because he has the same fur, like, pattern there. I don't know if that is that him as a kid or something. There's a weasel. There's a badger. Those are just straight up fucking people. There's like the skull, and there's like I don't know what that is. Bear that looks like a Komodo dragon. More foxes. Silhouettes. Cool. But when I look across the store, I can't help noticing a part of the store dedicated entirely to photography on the opposite side. How did you miss that, though? I check out the display case first. It's mostly just photos and envelopes and nature photography. Yeah, it's the best kind of photographs, in my opinion. This one's catching my eye for some reason. I can't decide if it's beautiful or if there's something bothering me about it. The wall on this side of the store is full of pictures against fancy wallpaper. Looks like a showcase for the types of photographs you can order. I mean, that seems pretty plausible. There are tags of different kind of frame styles and sizes. Everybody looks so still and perfect, like they're made of porcelain, like they're props. Okay, Sam. Really? You're making things worse than yourself, buddy, with thoughts like that. Ah, yes, these photos of living people, they look like they're fucking props. God, why? Oh! Okay, the fucker's eyes are closed. The silhouette's there. Obviously, the Bullface McGee has a skull. And there's something in the top one there. It's like a... It's like... It's kind of like... Ugh, what is that? That's weird. Oh yeah, this house. The lights are out now. Um, I think that's all. You need some help? I'm fine. Old Fox gives me a scarecrow smile. What does that mean? You just look a little under the weather. Was it because of that picture? Where's the one that's in my hand? Hold it up and take a look. Wouldn't surprise me that has you spooked. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, pareidolia. Pareidolia majorly, but there's like an eye here, and there's like teeth. It's like the fucking head of something was crashed in. Oh God, like Jack. My son Murdoch took that one out in the wild, not too far from town. Feel my brow furrow. Just talking to me like I don't know who Murdoch is. Just introduced myself to him yesterday. That valley in particular is feared. Some say there's a beast that lives there that's as big as the mountains. Like a Goliath? It's hard to keep the impatience out of my voice. Like a big old slug that dangles from the mountain top. Drops down on a whole mess of campers and gobbles them up. So... Speaking of Murdoch, I was looking for him. Old Fox's beam turned into a look of consternation. He leered at me for a moment, small green eyes squinting, as if putting one and two together. Well, he'll be at the school right now. Shit, that's right. Picture day. Put that back where you found it. Old Fox is still talking, but the his voice had raised to a shout. They'll smudge up the sides. Sorry. Now hurry on down to school. Yes, sir. Old lunatic. Break into a sweat. Takes about 15 minutes or so to get there as the sun beats down on my neck. My hands are on my knees and I'm panting. There's so many people here today. Kids are running every which way, but most of them are headed to a clearing behind the school. There's patches of grass beneath pine trees and an end of open space. I see rows of tables set up with silver platters on top of sheets. The smell of firewood and the sizzling meat lingers in the air. Glazed breads overflow from woven baskets. Jars of jam and honey are stacked in pyramids. Glittering pie discs shine with sugar under glass domes. Try to find a free adult to speak to, but the only ones I can see are reacting with their son or daughter, fussing with their clothes or their fur. There's a group of trees. There's a group of girls under a pine tree up ahead. A bit nervous to approach them, though. Probably think I'm a weirdo. Still, I need some directions. Dead birds, nothing good about it at all. There's nothing extraordinary about dead birds, Melissa. Birds don't live very long. Yeah, birds don't live very long, Melissa. 20 of them? Just up and died? Groups of people die all the time. Why not birds? And why not the work of Providence? Surely Providence is more important than things than birds to be bothered with. We're bothered by all things great and small. 20 small things to be exact. What, you counted? You counted? Of course I did. I could kill 21 birds if it would make you treat me up just as special. Oh, I know you could, Blake, but this was different. I swear on the Bible. Swear on the tromping grounds? Stars above, Blythe. I'd know how committed she was to this, fancy if she did. Well... Melissa's voice goes stern. Some man is minding us. Oh. You're that handyman who busted into class the other day. She sighs. Need something, I suspect? Just looking for my employer. If you mean Miss Burns' brother, have you checked the auditorium? He's usually there all day on picture day. That makes things easier. Thanks a bunch. Hope you both find him. Choke goes up the back of my neck. Turn around and expect to see somebody like Murdoch's mother, but there's nobody but a disorganized crowd. Excuse me? I'm by myself. My mistake that he must be getting to me. See, it's shit like that Echo does so well, that Echo games do so well, that creeping unease of not being alone. Although I have a feeling it only really that type of stuff only really manifests when it's like the person that possesses the curse. Like Sam and Chase, because they both, whatever. My tail can't help but twitch oddly while I walk away. All the girls are dead quiet now. I didn't like that one bit. Made me feel like a giant weirdo. Except they were the ones being odd. Lousy kids. I head to the front door of the store where the secretary is waiting. Sign in, she gives me another visitor's pin. Hallways are flooded with coming and going parents and students. I slip in the auditorium and look around. On one side of the stage there's a box room looks made of a frame and curtains. Murdoch is standing in front of a crouching crowd of students with a large standing camera and a tripod. All done, enjoy the picnic. Step between the seats to let the group of students rush past me. Sorry I'm late. Buck still hasn't turned around yet. Crouches picks up a canteen of water, takes a sip, and then puts it back down, turning to face me. At first I was beginning to worry that you wouldn't show. But then I remembered that I forgot to tell you to meet me here. So that's my fault. I apologize. I really don't know what voice to give this to. I'm trying my best to make it sound like how I think he would, but whatever. Nothing to be sorry about. We both had one thing in our mind yesterday. Fox's expression softened. Rarely just one thing on my mind. But the photograph. Door in the auditorium opened loudly. The seniors are next. We'll have lots of I'm giving this fucking bitch I'm giving this bitch a purposely bad voice. I hate her. The seniors are next. We'll have a lot of individual shots to take. Her expression sours when she sees me. Why isn't he dressed properly? Her gaze turns from me to her son. 32 years been having semi-annual picture day picnics. Every man, woman, and child Grissom and Echo will be proud of their days spent in these halls. Oh, really, will they? On picture day, they will dress their best, be served a plate of home cooking and pie, proud of themselves and their community. Fuck off, Gretchen. I want to slap you. And we will look our best when we serve them. Ma'am, I apologize. It's my fault. These simple things are the best clothes I own. She smiles at me. No, dear, don't have a lie to cover my son's mistakes. It was... Fucking hell, this cunt. He's a grown man. Should I told you because he knows how important this day is. I overlooked it, I'm sorry. She shakes her head. You sure are, but it can't be helped. I'll be back with a vest and a hat, like I know just the place to find them. I don't care if it doesn't fit her at all. I'm fucking purposely botching her voice because fuck her. Gaze turns to Murdoch again. You won't mind the scenes when they arrive. We'll be back. She's in seconds. Christ. What the hell was that? Fox's expression seemed distant. What do you mean? I mean, why do you let it talk to you like that? Oh, that's just normal. She's always like that. I just tune her out after a while. She has the ways of getting things done, and so do I. That's all. I won't let it be your problem. My mouth break into a scowl. I won't either. Door opened again. Gretchen was back with the gray vest hanging from one of her arms and a derby hat. This belonged to my cousin, but he got a bit too twiggy for it. You look close to the right size. Wow. Fuck off. I hate you. She thrust the hat and vest into my hand. I didn't hesitate to put it on. Fit was snug and the cap was tight, but I could move easily enough in the clothing. See, a handsome gentleman was hiding. Let's give our best today. Please auditorium again. Try to bring out the picture again, but students start strolling and giving us a little time to ourselves. The next few hours drag on. Students fidget and shatter while Murdoch instructs them to pose a certain way or sit still. The vest is hot and itchy, and I feel the sweat beat on the back of my neck. The next few hours go by slowly. By the time the last student is finished with their shoot and exits the auditorium, the two of us are breathing relief. Murdoch closes his eyes and takes a seat, leaning against the railing. Doing alright, Fox? There's the bridge of his nose and opens his eyes again slightly. A bit, just need to eat something. Why don't we go out to the picnic then? Somebody might need to make up a shot. Happens often enough. Why don't we go out and get a few plates for ourselves? Murdoch just shakes his head, still breathing heavy. Just go, I'll be fine. I'll bring you back a plate. Opened his eyes again and gave me a weak smile, then shook his head. He's probably dehydrated. Been working our asses off. Once I'm outside, I gotta make a beeline for the tables. There's considerably less food now. Pick a paper plate and start piling on meat and veggies. I don't actually know if Murdoch likes pie, but he's getting a slice anyway. Well, look at what the wind blew in. Nearly dropped my plate. Cliff? That's my alarm to whisper. The hell are you doing here? Nails at smell that one of Murdoch's sisters stands next to him, the tiny astronomer with the big glasses that sit in her snout. Corey, I was so encouraging the whole town to go. I was told this is something of a tradition. Is that why you're here, Sam? He's helped my brother with the picture day events. Pictures, you say? I'm in need of professional photographers. You know I'm not a photographer, Cliff. I've been having an extraordinary idea discussing ideas with Mr. Tibbets. He has an excellent eye for details. Perhaps the both of you would get along famously. We're already acquainted. Yes, but we could be better acquainted. Speaking of acquaintances, come meet us, Holly. She waves her arms, shims her arms spastically in the air, and I follow her gaze. Murdoch's other sister, sporting an emerald plaid summer dress, glides towards us. To her right is Ralph, stalking towards us. He's one of the last people I want to see right now. This fucker. I hate you. To her right in her arm is the marbled fox I sucked off. Shit. The universe continues to conspire against me. Good afternoon, darlings. Her glance flicks to me. Working on one of the longest days of the year, and your second day is the best of luck. She leans over the paw as she speaks. I hope the picture day picnic doesn't scare you away. Of course, a polite laugh. I've dealt with scary, miss. Of course you have. You met my juniors. Nothing too scary, I hope. Good Lord Almighty, I need to escape this. Well, if the rest of you can be brave, we'll just have to follow our own wedding. We'll have to follow our own wedding next week. Escape this right now. Congratulations. Right now. This is my fiancé, Jim. What the fuck are you doing, Sam? Good to see you. Why? Jim, the fox I blew yesterday looks me in the eye, then away, then nods gruffly. Why won't God let me die right now? Do you have a bug stuck in your throat, Jim? She rolls her eyes. Ralph was squinting at me. I don't think Murdoch is feeling so well, so I want to get a plate of food to him. He better not be skipping meals again. Sick. If you don't bring him Murdoch a plate and drink, then I must insist that I do the same for you, Sam. Thank you. That is a wonderful idea. I am leaving now. Ah. My pace is nearly a jog. Maybe I should insist on being a waiter to Harlan. After all, I still haven't spilled Murdoch's food yet, moving this fast. Conversation took longer than I thought it would. How dreadful. When I get back to the auditorium, I expect to see Murdoch curled up on his back, breathing heavy, but he's sitting up like normal, like everything's fine. Feel a sense of relief, which is a little strange since I still don't know this fellow, or his shifty family. I didn't know if you like pie, so I got you a small piece. It's alright, I'm picky. But I like pumpkin, well done. He winks at me. My ears perk and I feel a little hot. Beer is slim at the front of the auditorium. Ralph steps into the room, looking around awkwardly until he makes it to the front. Oh! You're okay? Yeah? Why wouldn't I be? The motor here said you weren't. Pardon me, but Sam was... Oh my god. Fucking hell. Pardon me, but... Oh my god, why can't I do British right now? What the fuck is happening? Pardon me, but... Okay. Shall I ask? Pardon me, but Sam is not a model. Many of us flinch as we see that Cliff is inside the auditorium too now, on the plate. He's a gentleman and a handyman. He's made me feel very welcome in Echo. He knows what my job is, Cliff. He does? Fucking hell. Who pray tells this part? Okay. Who pray tells this Pommy? He's an anthropologist. And he's like us. I could tell Murdoch. Okay. I could tell Murdoch. I do have ears, eyes, and ears. What's that supposed? What's that? Oh God! Fucking hell! What's that supposed to mean? Ignore him. There's some reason you're here, isn't there, Cliff? Yes. Well, I'm trying to put together a small expedition, so to speak. I want to travel to the Meseta settlement for my research, and the only guide who's interested is leaving today. Dahlia assured me that your parents would approve such an endeavor, and I implore you that the course would not be an issue. I don't think I could prepare everything by tonight. You would have had to ask me yesterday. But my guide has to leave tonight. Could your guide wait for a day? I could ask, but it may not be possible for him to wait. Murdoch shifts in his seat. Well, you did say it would be a lot of money, right? And a lot of fun. Fox is smiling still, but one of his paws is trembling. I'm starting to wonder if he needs medicine or something. I hate to interrupt wherever this is trying to go, but you don't seem like the type of fellow who's used to being told no. And you aren't the best at picking up body language either. So I'll put this plainly. He's not going with you today. He doesn't want to go with you today. You could try again later. Fucking hell. But for now, fuck off. I can see the sheets below Red Axe's fur go red as he looks to Ralph, to me, to Murdoch, and he bites his lower lip. Puts down the plate of food in a chair and whimpers, trying to lead to the front door. Christ, Ralph, you didn't have to go that far. Apparently all did, because you don't know how to say no. I'm gonna apologize for you. That better be all you do. Thanks for making today harder, Ralph. Murdoch walks out the door. Stubborn ass. Can't believe I didn't have any popcorn for that. Well, that went smoothly. They both needed to hear it. That weasel's manipulator's rather bad at it, but the fox is addicted to labor. Oh, fuck off, Ralph. And your personality clears out the room. And you're a fuckboy with all of our vices. This guy. I'd rather be irritated with me for a while than sick for a long while. It's just... Are you acting like it's Pappy or something? Somebody ought to. I've known this family a lot longer than you have. You've seen how they treat him. It pretends like it doesn't bother him, but it does. And he makes bad decisions to lash out. Bad decisions like me? Yeah, you're just one of money. Certainly doesn't pull his punches. Amazing. You know I'm not wrong. Doesn't matter if you're the nicest guy in the block. I'm still terrified of the scandal you could cause, and if you're in trouble, the whole business could throw you down the drain. I don't know about that, in honesty. Ralph narrows his eyes. About what? Murdoch ain't the most secretive for himself. Ralph scowls. You can say I'm attracting bad attention all you like, but outrage of the fox attracts more. Has been most of my life keep my head low. But the fox treats being how we are like it's some sort of game. Ralph's scowl melts and he looks away, putting on a 100-mile stare. I can tell you thought about this before, too. He'd have been caught by now, wouldn't he? Can't say for sure. Horse shit! Rat starts to look deeply troubled. Well, he certainly gets away with more than I could, and I do find it peculiar. But what's done is done, what happens, happens. He knows I'm not a yes man, and he likes that. Probably why he's intrigued by you as well. Aside from your dick. How interesting you keep bringing that up. Don't push it. Crack a smile out of a cackle. Door opens again and Murdoch pushes through looking at me. He'll be alright. And you told him no? I told him no. Murdoch's a heavy sigh. He was really upset he wouldn't be able to get people together for such tradition. So I'm gonna help him look from a state of folks in town late in the week. He's buying you, right? Of course. I just don't know if I want to take it. And why not? Well, he is a lot and tends to throw a lot of it every which way. Ralph turns to me and crosses his arms. That's not good. Red would have taken it without asking questions. We have to stop talking about this here. Of course. Dumb of me. Here, sticking on Murdoch's tail, relax a bit. Could both of you pack the equipment up? Sure. Goss. Takes about an hour to collapse the curtain and store the camera and props in the closet and pack up all the film into boxes. Like, I get where fucking Roth is coming from, but I don't like the way he does it. Jeez. I guess being what you are is some sort of game, apparently. Christ. Yeah. It's really easy to forget in our modern age where, like, it's acceptable to just go out and be gay, that it used to be terrible. It used to be, like, seriously bad to do that. Like, it's hard to forget that. It's hard to remember that sometimes, you know? And when you do remember, it's just like, fucking hell, were people this fucking ignorant and asshole-ish in the past? Like, Jesus. We each take a crate as we head back to the store. This might be the earliest escape picture day. Just one trip was all it took. Red smiled and lifted his eyebrows. Want me to go to the spot? Could bring Lowborn along, show him how to relax. I'd much prefer getting a head start in development. Ralph sighs. Suit yourself. At least you'll be here where I can keep an eye on you. I, on the other hand, have more than enough exercise in one day. I'm taking a break. It's not like you need my permission. Yeah. Already licking your chops with permission, huh? Prospect, at least. Enjoy your slacking while it lasts. Oh, yeah. Murdoch starts whistling facing away a dark door, and Ralph looks back at him for a second. I know that look. It's the same one Dora gives us after a client goes too far. But he retreats to his office behind the counter. Murdoch doesn't notice disappearing in the dark room. You coming, Sam? First frame of the door reminds me of the frame of the door reminds me of the mine shaft. The more and more I stare at it, and the room under the stairs is inky black. Coming. Step on in, and Murdoch turns on the light. I see the rest of the developed pictures of Jack's body hanging on the corkboard. God, imagine fucking seeing. Christ, that must be fucking hard. That must be bad. Seriously, imagine, like, seeing pictures of the body of the dude you fucking murdered. Ugh. And especially considering that this was in self-defense, it wasn't premeditated or anything. God, I can't imagine. There's a lot more decay on the corpse than I thought there would be. But that's a good thing, right? Took too long for us to be alone again. I knew we wouldn't talk about this all day, but I already regret coming to this dark, cramped space. I want to know what you saw yesterday in a little more detail. My eyes drift away from the photos of Jack. Murdoch leans upon a counter staring back. I'd like to, but it's difficult to talk about. He pulls a photo set on the counter and pushes it into my hand. All you have to do is describe what you see. Alright. God, I hate that. God, I hate it. You can fucking see the fucking eyes there. Just, God, it's the same fucking thing, too. Because the eyes here, and then this is where, like, this is where, like, the fucking eye sockets were. God, I hate it. I stare at it again and feel cold like I'm back there in the deep with Jack's dead body. Milky white eyes in the dark. Like they're blind, they're dead, but they're still looking through you. Like his eyes. Murdoch interrupts me gently. Like, whose eye? Whose eyes? God's. Or the devil's. I don't know. What else do you see? Sand, rock, darkness. It's the mines. Murdoch's hand crosses mine as he pulls the photo from my grasp. What I saw yesterday was a photo I took in 1901. So 14 years ago? How old is he? I'm guessing in his 20s, but still. I saw trees, circus tents, and people eating spun sugar. And a group of boys were about to cast their fishing lines. My brother was one of them. That was not the last picture I took that day, but I'm grateful that I didn't see the other one. But when I look at it again today, I just see a strangest decaying skull. But that's still not what you say. He rubs the side of his nose with his sleeve and looks down. Let's take a short respite from all this grim talk. I'm reminded of a conversation I had with Dolly about vision. She said that everything we see is just reflected light. That we're not seeing what's really there, not honestly. Just everything that wasn't absorbed by an object bouncing back at us. Fuck that. Fuck that. Oh my God, I hate that. He's basically saying that we're not seeing reality as it really is because our perception isn't like it doesn't go far enough. We're just seeing what's like reflected off of objects So who knows what the real world really looks like? Fuck that shit. No. No. Oh. I've already had hallucinations in my past. I don't need to fucking start again. Pictures capture these reflections through chemical reactions. A ghost of the past preserved perfectly on paper. That's what I used to think anyway. But I've been developing photos in Echo for almost 2 decades. And there's often something wrong with them. Sometimes it's a little thing like buttons that are blacked out or a missing watch. Then, sometimes an entire person is missing from the photo. But rarely when I'm thinking about it. And rarely when I'm staring directly at it and know that something's wrong. I genuinely fucking hate this conversation. It is giving me goosebumps. Usually it happens out the corner of my eye, or when I'm focused on some new project, but then return to an old one, and I find something completely unfamiliar. I used to cry myself to sleep thinking my ability to remember things was unraveling. But you're looking at a photograph today, seeing something completely different from me, and it doesn't change back. It's because I don't want to hide from you. No. Why don't you take the picture from his hand again? Look again. See the real me. I've seen you. Real you. Real you. No higher cause. An empty vessel. Where is that sound coming from? I cover my ears to stop the noise, but it doesn't work. A bloated body, stained in sloth. Damnation reeks, clings. I will sprout in your dying skin. I will be God for you. You all want to be useful. With your bloated bellies, dragging, stuffed with my bounty. What was that? My land. I am the sacred, ugly truth. This one smells the rot on you. See it in his hesitations. He will burn you alive to enrich his fields. Kill him. Kill him. Save yourself and kill him. No sex, no food, no laughter and death. Just sand, just clay, just oblivion and mud. Tears flow from my eyes as I sink into the ground. Every memory will unspool. Every touch you feel will numb. How sad for you to die. How soon for you to die. Humiliated harlot. Choking in this horrible tiny room. I can't see, but somehow I know that long-limbed things surround me in this space. They smell like funeral chemicals. They have only pulsing veins, no skin, and they trip on me. Kill the fox! Murdoch tears the photograph in half. Kill the ox! He tears it into quarters. I hear unintelligible squealing, like all the pictures are singing. Then they stop. Oh my god. I have to fucking say something about this. My fucking limbs were tingling during that entire section. Like, you know how they had your arm and hands tingle when they're asleep? It felt like that, but they weren't asleep. What the fuck? My sobbing howls fill the dark room. Murdoch sits on the floor next to me. I flinch when he touches me, but he's soft and warm, not slimy and sharp. He's smarter than me, but he rocks like I'm a baby. Please stop crying. I promise it's okay. I promise we are not crazy. I open my eyes to see if he is crying too, or if he looks scared or disgusted. But he isn't. He looks determined, and I have no idea why. Not a damn clue why. I heard voices. And I saw the ferret like Emma in the photograph again. He looks sickened now. Then you were looking at the back of that photo. Then you fell to the floor. I was scared you were having a case of the fits. He wipes my tears with his sleeve. But I'm relieved. It's just a black cloud. Just an overcast of ill humors. My jaw drops as I stare back at him. Ill humors? I'm mumbling. Ill humors! He puts both of his paws on mine and squeezes. His voice is harsh. Not just. I lived most of my life in this town, but I spent some of my summers elsewhere. So I know that unique things happen here. And I don't think it's just sometimes. I think it's all the time. Incrementally. Dot by dot. Inch by inch. Sometimes it's buttons missing from the photograph. Sometimes it's a missing person. And in a town where people are constantly being touched and remade slowly. The case of the bad humor sounds a lot less threatening to say than that photographs can change, or that they talk. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. But I nod anyway, then I keep crying anyway. He doesn't stop holding me. This place changes us. Unless we notice and choose to change ourselves first. Change how? Murdoch pulls away from me and crosses his arms. Well, there's lots of ways. I found some that feel like they work for me. He frowns. We may already have some in common. Murdoch, what are you talking about? Fox's ears flick and his glance switches from one wall of foes to the other. Let's talk about it elsewhere. Murdoch pushes himself up off the ground and lends me his wrist. He pulls me up briskly with a strained grunt. Then he looks me over again. Why don't you wait outside while I collect the photos? I avoid his gaze. We both know there's something wrong with these pictures. Wouldn't it be a bad idea to just tear them all up? Tore one of the shots himself. Maybe. Murdoch turns around and crosses his arms as if he's actually considering listening to me. I don't think that they leave the same impression on the sheriff. Flicks a shot from the strings, open a cabinet, and pulls a manila envelope out to encase them and then tucks them beneath his arms. We walk out of the dark room, Murdoch locks up behind us, and we keep walking till we get to the storefront. I think I should get these to William. When? His brow furrows. As quickly as possible, so right now. My heart beats faster. Isn't it late? He rents the apartment just above the jail, so he's almost always there. Puts the envelope in a small briefcase and snaps it shut, looking at me out of the corner of his eye. Personally, just between you and me, I think none of these shots will reveal information that William doesn't already know. But the sooner they pass from my paws to his, the better. That's a queer thing to tell me. So then what's the point of handing them over in the first place? He leaves a paper trail to cover his ass when higher-ups folk can do his work. Shows him when he's not twiddling his thumbs so the perpetrator doesn't get caught. My gaze lingers on the briefcase. So, you do think there was a perpetrator? Murdoch's shoulders heave as he lets out a sigh. Frankly, it doesn't matter what I think. Our business pays to take photos and pass them on. Not to interrupt them. And considering what we both saw tonight, we know that my testimony won't always be accurate anyhow. Then why look at the pictures if you know that they can come out wrong? They can mislead people. Might make them think things they shouldn't be thinking. I'm fairly certain that the core of the photo, what's contained in the pictures, doesn't change. Just the perception of the person who's looking. So pictures can still prove useful when being mindful. I let out a bitter laugh. And you think William is mindful? Murdoch's tail flicks from side to side. Of evidence, of course I do. Not so much mindful of the feelings of a couple of hicks who claim the pictures can change only in this town. He strikes me as the man who needs to experience something on his own to believe it possible. I guess I can't say I'm much different. Can't say I am either. He smiles. That's why I miss younger me. He wouldn't believe in a lot of things I do today. The smile turns into a frown. But I can't shake the feel that I'm being stalled. His eyes narrow as he looks me over. We've had a rough day. Come with me. Damn it. I'm running out of time. Why? Because I don't think you should be by yourself right now. I think a familiar face would do you some good. Fine. Let's go. Maybe we grab the pictures and run. But that would just make Murdoch tell William what happened. He'd be on to me. Murdoch knocks on the door of William's office. We don't hear anything. Murdoch knocks again. We hear some little grumbling before the door finally opens. William looks a little more tired than usual, and he smells like booze. Oh, it's just you. Not just me. William appears behind the fox and his expression softens. Oh, Sam too. I'm sorry to say it, bud, but I've no time for pleasure right now. Some things came up. Nothing to worry about. We're here to deliver the pitches. Some peculiar house in the briefcase passes from Murdoch's hand to William's. First, it feels like every small mistake I have ever made in my life adds up to this moment. Each thing I did wrong is just another strand making up the noose that tightens around my neck. Then I feel lighter, like all the pressure is leaving me, almost if the air were thinner, as if it was all out of my hands. As if it really was just a pile of mundane pictures, revealing nothing new or damning. That was quicker than usual. Sam here helped me cut the labor in half. William smirked at me. Did he now? Maybe I shouldn't be so concerned about him after all. You better be paying him for what he's worth, Fox. No cheating him. I'd pay him more if I could, but a fox has gotta eat too. I'm right here, you know. William, what's taking so long? I don't recognize the voice, but it sounds like it belongs to a woman. All the confidence underneath his voice seems to leave him. Again, I have to cut this short, boys, but I really have to turn you away right now. Wait, one last thing. Pouty sighed, and I can tell he's lost his patience. Have you seen Nick? Not for a few days, no. Not since the night of the riot? I've seen him moseying about town at the very least. Oh, then how comes he come to see me yet? When can you be in touch again? Not for a while. Slams door in our faces. Hear Murdoch tisk. Damn. I'd hope we could bullet him into some poker. Yeah, in Williams Route there was poker, I remember that. I don't know how to play poker though, so it was kind of lost on me. I didn't understand it at all. And I'm guessing that woman in there is his wife, because yeah, that was also something that was in Williams Route. You're right though. Seeing William did clear my head. That's good. No, it isn't. He looked miserable and scared. He was the most disorganized I've ever seen him. You told me today that this place changes people. Is it changing William too? Murdoch's lips pursed. Maybe. He made a spinning gesture with his paw and paws in the air. Probably. He was drinking, wasn't he? Yeah, I could smell it too. We might have just walked in on him at a bad time. He hasn't lived here very long, so I doubt it could be affecting him much. Then again, you haven't lived here very long either, but your reactions are extreme. No way for him to press me on that for some reason never does. I want to know how I can prep myself. I'll share what I know, but I don't think you'll like it. I need to know. Let's get back to the shop. It tells me to be in a store like this at night, where there should be people, there's just empty space. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, liminal spaces, everybody. Food sits neatly in a rack, not to be touched. Like it's a prop in a museum or a model in a dollhouse. I get the same kind of feeling that I get when walking through an empty church in a day with no service. That lingering feeling of trespass. Murdoch walks the corner of the store where the photography work is displayed, and plucks something from a stand and puts it in his pocket. Goes back to the front of the store and knocks on the door of the pharmacy. What do you need? Fucking shit, boss. What do you need? I'm busy. I want to go to the spot now. Oh, change them on? The rat swung open the door, takes off goggles, and immediately stops in front of me. What's he still doing here? I want to take both of us to the spot. You can't be serious. I couldn't be more. The rat sighed and rubbed the back of his neck with his paw. How's the light? Hasn't stopped us before. Well, maybe you're someplace to be tonight. Just at me. I don't have any place to be. Ruff looks Murdoch in the eye. I don't like this. Doesn't matter. Took the photograph from his pocket and slapped the side with his knuckles. He knows. Ralph flinches. Then he starts stammering. Well. Flicks the cigar in a small lighter from his coat pocket and lights it. You don't have to do that right now. Yeah, I do. Rat blew a quick puff of smoke over his shoulder. Give me a few minutes. He brushes his shoulders with both of us as he passes, stepping out the front door. So your partner over there knew as well? How many people in this shithole do know? Murdoch hops up to sit on the counter and places his hands on his knees. I don't really ask. I will wager more than a few know something's not right. Sometimes it's really obvious from the start, though. He looks at me and lets his words hang in the air. I want to ask him what he means when Ralph bursts into the front door. All right. I'll go get the cutter. Be right in a few minutes. Routine noises follow the rat as he disappears once again into the pharmacy. Cross my arms and lean against the support column. So where is this spot? You ever been to the lake in town? Oh boy, Lake Emma. Oh boy. Ah, see enough from the balcony. That's not really an answer. I bristle. I don't like the crowds. Lake Emma's a bit bigger than bigger than it looks. Me and Ralph know a few places people don't tend to frequent. And you want to take me there now? In the middle of the night? He slips off the counter, steps up to me, and looks me in the face. He's so close that our chests touch. If you really want to know all that I know, yeah, I do. The last time I outlined is when somebody asked me to, I nearly died. You know, I shouldn't be so scared of the lake considering this is fucking 1915. And, like, Sydney isn't even a blip in the imagination of... His parents aren't even alive at this point, so, like... You know, it's not, like, it's gonna be haunted. I mean, it probably will be, but, like, you know what I mean. I want someone to know where we are if I'm going out. Fox rolled his eyes. I don't have a problem with that. Give me a pencil and a piece of paper. He scowls and walks over the counter from the pharmacy. Hear a drawer open, a soft ripping sound. Since you asked so nicely. The hiss comes out of my mouth. I always ask nicely. Regardless. Start to dictate aloud, is that right? Samuel Ayers, Murdoch Burns. Spelled my name wrong. And the pharmacy rat. Pharmacy isn't spelled with an F. Went to Lake Emma on July 8th at 8:30. 8:50. Speak a little loud as I erase. It was a lovely evening. Why is he talking to himself? Brett was arguing up beside of me, breathing down my neck. Pharmacy isn't spelled with an F. It don't fucking matter. I just want people to know where I am tonight. With the note face up on the desk. Enough dallying, let's beat off. Ralph carries the supplies while Murdoch locks the door behind me. Snuff the lantern. Won't leave until we get to the lake anyway. He's right. Lights come from the plenty of houses late into the night, making it easy enough to see the dim lights of the alleyways. Gravel and dirt crunch beneath our feet as we breathe in dry air. As we follow the road for a while, the houses get sparser and the stars above get brighter. I clear my throat. Alright. I'd like to know why y'all drag me out here now. Ruff ignores me and keeps on walking. Rock breaks the silence. It's because it's an important place for the both of us. For better and for worse. Start with the better then. Alright. Remember when I said I used to spend my summers out of town? Me and the rest of my siblings used to go play by ourselves, and my mom and my grandma didn't have the best relationship. Shocking. Ralph lets out a laugh. So you got to quit with Mrs. Burns today? You still have your balls, so you did well. Murdoch hemmed. So as I was saying, my grandmother certainly wasn't a Christian. Before she immigrated with my granddad, she was very involved with the customs, beliefs, and rituals of the community. She was very serious when she told stories about fairies, spirits, and goblins, like she believed in them for real. They were a fun story, but I didn't believe a lick of them. But her ideas about places stuck with me. She seemed to think buildings and sacred places could have personalities and souls like people do. Was she one of those biddies who thought every stone and every tree has feelings? You cowboys can feel one at trees. Both of you be less like yourselves for a second. Sam, her belief about nature wasn't about nature having all sorts of souls. It was about the collective experience of people building the soul of a place. Okay, yeah, I fully believe in that shit. That shit is 100% real. Like when you compel it to hush up in a synagogue or a church. Or why a room full of a dead person's belongings still feels like trespass, even years after somebody's been gone. She said feelings stick around like stains on carpet. And what does that have to do with anything? We're going to a place where the idea consistently works. I hear Ralph stop ahead of me, then see him crouch down, almost with a lighter in his pocket. It takes me much to light the oil lantern, but the sudden brightness tells on his success. We're close enough to the waterfront to hear the shoreline. It's still a bit of a hike from here. We have to get to the bit of the lake that goes between the canyon. Look around me and see lots of lights in the distance near the water. I never knew the lake was still this crowded even after dark. Why wouldn't it be crowded? It's a big bloody lake and we're in the middle of summer. I just thought I wasn't born for this to be private. It will be. People stay clear from where we're about to go. When we get to the lake, we get to where the lake meets this face of rock and goes between it. We see more pine trees, shrubs, and ferns. Oh my god, are we going to where Sydney died? Are we going there? Well, not died, but will die, considering it's the fucking future. It's hard to walk here, but a narrow strip of land against one of the cliffs in the water that lets us keep walking. On the other side, the lake opens up again. There's more arches, more jagged rock formations. We keep walking until we come upon a large boulder in the sand beneath the shallow cave. Alright, we're here. Where's here? A place we haven't come for years. Rat jerked his head at the fox. Ever since we were both boys. And after all these years, we discovered a neat trick. Murdoch digs through his pants pocket, slips out a photograph, and hands it to me. Look familiar? Your dad was showing me this earlier. Of course he did. He shows it to everybody. And I'll bet he told you the story about a monster, too. One that eats campers and nomads. So much that I sometimes hear folks telling stories about it. Like it's real. And like it's in that photograph. But it's just a mountain. Of course it's just a mountain. I was there too. I took the damn picture. Except, sometimes it's not just a mountain. Sometimes when I feel like I'm at my lowest or when I'm at my worthless, I take a look at the photograph. When it's not a mountain, that's when I know that I'm being messed with. If the photo was all we need, then what's the point of coming here? Because it's the easiest place for us to get into a terrible mood. Faster we're in a bad mood, the sooner we can force ourselves into a better one. Efficient, right? I'm in a bad mood all the time anyways. I don't need to put myself into one on purpose. And what do you see in the photograph right now? It's still just a stupid mountain. Oh, Sam? What's the worst memory you can think of? I don't want to think about awful shit. I knew you would hate this. Well, who wouldn't? This feels like a waste of time. But he's there, staring back with his dead eyes that won't close. Don't do this. No. Fuck. Mother of God, you piece of shit. Oh, I must not have turned up my alarm. That's a mistake on my part. Dismiss. I just want to check something real quick. Okay, so... If my hypothesis about Chase's age is correct, this game takes place 76 years before he was born. Wow. Look at the photo again. I don't want to. This is stupid. Try looking one more time. If it's not working, we'll stop. No! I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to. I mean, I don't think they'd like outright show Jack's fucking dead body. You know, I don't think they'd show that. But like at the same time, it already kind of looked like a face that had the fucking head smashed in to begin with. So like, take another look at the damn piece of paper. Son of a bitch! Much blood in my first, much blood in my first time. So it worked. So it did. Now please explain the point of this. Aside from shaving more years out of my life. In this town, we're in an altered state of mind. It can seem like we can suddenly see the stains people leave behind. It's like it makes the bad things real and we add our own. So if we don't want to add heat to the boiler, so to speak, we have to find ways to control what we feel and what we can see. Such as... well, the hard way is thinking yourself out of it. You recognize how you're feeling. You pinpoint the emotion in your head, and you think about how you're feeling over and over again to recognize and make it stop. I've done too much thinking for today already. What's the easy way? Here we go. Here's where my fucking, like, here's basically what is canon at this point for me. That this game is, that these games are metaphors for fucking trauma. Because he just was like talking about the hard way to cure your trauma is to actually think about it and think of ways to solve it. And the easy way is to fucking drink or do drugs or fucking have sex all the time. You know, easy way out of like actually confronting your fucking trauma. Fucking, these games are amazing. And like, the first one, like, you don't have to be gay to really get it, but like, I feel like you are. You kind of get it. You kind of get more of the horror of Brian than if someone that was straight played. You know, like like Brian is literally a culmination of all of the fucking worst homophobic stereotypes of gay people imaginable. You know. Substances. Let's get back into this. Feel my brows scrunch. Such as whatever works for you. Alcohol. Psilocybin, cannabis. Just avoid opium. Takes your pain away, but it seems to make you see more. So you're a couple of druggies then. Consume my line of work, how's that remotely surprising? Stand up, ready to leave. No thanks. I'm not willing to put any poison on my body. Hey now. Poison? Really? We just said it's the easy way, not the only way. You've got a powerful substance factor in between your ears. Nothing weird happens to you while you work, does it? Huh. Now you mention it, no. It doesn't. You don't whore just for money, do you? You get that rush, right? Everybody gets a rush. It's called the climax. But you like to draw it out, right? To make it last as long as it can. That works just as well as any substance. Except it's not possible to stay perpetually randy all the time. Fox tried to fake a light laugh. Speak for yourself. Amount of times I try to ask for poppy speaks for itself. Try to ask for poppy. Whatever, the rat is lighting something again. I don't know what's in those cigars anymore, it's probably not tobacco. Scent is off. You should switch to cannabis. That one slows me down too much. You'll need to slow down. Don't you agree? He looks at me, still puffing on the funny smelling cigar. His eyes look a bit red. This is the first time you ask my opinion on anything. Because I think this matters. What matters more is how to make Sam stop seeing the monster in the picture. Fair enough. That's why we're here, after all. So sex works for you. Works for me, too. Well, it's not enough. Consider how much I do it, I still have problems. Ralph whistles. Sounds like it's a little unrealistic to manually induce an altered state in your body 24/7. Might even just a little bit of ganja. Might even just a little bit of ganja as an evil. This just makes me want to ask something. How do you both know that sex really works? Murdoch glares at the rat, but rolls his eyes. How else do you think? We joked it before looking a few times. Murdoch shrugged his shoulders. We needed to say that it works. It does. Oh, please. Want me to slip a tip when you start to stop your whining? You think you can afford it? That looks flushed and mutters under his breath. Please don't tell me the rest. The only reason we're out here is because the two you wanted to dope up and stroke off. Don't be a bloomin' idiot. We just came here to think. This is where it... You don't just drop that without his permission, dude. Fuck you. This is where his brother died. Yeah, no shit. No shit, thank you. You don't just fucking drop that fact on someone that he doesn't want to know what you fucking... For the first time I hear a snarl come from Murdoch. Only lasts a second when his lips are curled back and I see a flicker of genuine fear in Ralph's eyes. Then the fear turns to guilt. Sorry. Maybe I should tell him what you think about just to even the playing field. No, you're right. That was wrong of me. Murdoch takes out his paw, beckons with it. Okay, I'll take some now. Ralph stares at him for a moment. Then he rifles through his coat, plucks out a small green towel, and hands it over. Murdoch takes it. I sigh and take a look at the photograph again. The monster is still there, clearer than ever. Don't fucking show me! Stir my chin and give the rat a signal with my hand. Alright. Give me one of those capsules too. My ears slick with agitation. But only if it's free. Rat pulls the cigar out of his mouth. No. That would be a bad idea. Gives the cigar out to me. Buffalo Moist instead. What is it? Cannabis, same as a capsule. You'll feel it faster than he does, and it will leave your system quicker. So... is there some other reason to you start this location? Something you're still not telling me? Like I said before, this is a complicated place. Notice now that Ralph and Murdoch's leaders have changed. Their voices are deeper, more solemn. They also don't seem as formal or uptight. Ralph looks all around him and lifts his head to the rock ceiling. I think this part of the lake is evil. Some of our best memories happen here, but so did our worst. Remember when you caught that huge catfish, Stockings? I told you to stop calling me that. We both thought we'd be in the newspapers. We were way off, weren't we? We still had a good time. Till Harlan snitched where we were. But it still made Seamus happy. He was so excited. I'll miss him too, Murdoch. Okay, so Murdoch's family's Irish then. The wind picks up. There were other kids who drowned in here too. People say there's something about the current that sucks you under. I don't really know what to believe. I just know it's easy to get privacy here. So we hate it. But we love it too. This place feels like everything we are. Everything we ever will be. It was our childhood. Two of us understood there's something wrong with this damn town for years of our life, and now you do too. And this is where we come to learn to cope with it in secret. Have been for 9 years. Jeez, so you're telling me that this fucking lake consistently kills kids? What the fuck? Oh my god. Lake Emma is horrible. Cope? Cope with what exactly? What the hell is preying on this town? Rat and the fox exchange a word against one another and look back to me. We still don't know. And it might not just be one thing. No shit. No shit. No shit. That's one of my thoughts too. I agree with Ralph on that. I think there's multiple entities. Like there's a hierarchy. As I said in my Echo retrospective video, there's definitely like a hierarchy of entities here. That's something me and Ralph don't agree on yet. It's like a sickness of the mind that brings out the worst in people. The monsters in people's head become real to them. Then they become crazy. But I think it's just one thing. Because whatever it is, it knows how to think like a person. And it knows how to hurt us too well. Sounds like a demon or the devil to me. Going off like Sam's type of worldview, you know? Because I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in Christianity, so I don't believe in the devil. I see him scrunch his legs close to his chest and wrap his arm around his legs. And I want to figure out how to hurt it back. Seamus deserves better. Everybody who lives here deserves so much better. Ralph sighs. You alright? Shuts his eyes and squeezes a few tears out. Should be in 30 minutes or so. You're a really quiet crier. His tail wags and he chuckles. Thanks. Didn't mean as a compliment. My lips are dry. Swallow before speaking up. I heard the pitches talk to me today. In the dark room. Nothing's ever spoken to me before. Mine neither. Maybe the disease is making them hear things that aren't there. I drew my head toward Murdoch. It told me to kill him. Lay it out quietly. Ow. Why? Strangulation. Not sure why. Yes, you do. The voices seem to think you know things. But what specific thing? It's even speaking to me now. You think you're safe to point my secrets? It's smarter to be useful. You're running out of opportunities. I'm coming. The wind gets just a little bit louder. Are you still hearing things? No, but it told me it was coming. I think it's angry with me. All of us look to the entrance of the cave. Do any of you hear that? Get down. Crushing the opening of the rock, there's signs of moon across the water. I can hear a strange, squealing sound like wheels in a cart. Then they come to a stop. We can make out a figure in the distance covered in heavy layering. It's hard enough to see them in the dark as it is, but the face is obscure what looks like might be cloth wrappings or bandages. Grunting and growling rings out into the night as the figure wrestles with something in the cart. Something that looks like an extra large potato sack. Falls onto the ground. Murdoch lowers his voice to a whisper. What are they doing? Not likely anything good. Hopefully not dumping into anything toxic in their lake. If they're doing something harmful, we should probably interrupt. I hold Murdoch's form as we get to stand up. Don't go near them. This new confused look and worry spreads through his face. I can tell he's reminded of how much stronger I am than he is right now, so he stops trying to stand and squats back down. Figure pauses for some time, as if looking around before shuffling over the wall of one of the canyons. It takes us a while to realize they're picking up small rocks and sorting them into little piles. And then the sack itself starts to move. No. That couldn't be a... Fox sounds by the figure on one of the larger rocks over its head. Then they bring it down. A muffled cry is cut short and it turns into a horrible wet noise. Then there's nothing. None of us can say anything. Whoever it is hobbles over one of the rock piles and starts stuffing the stacks with the pebbles. It's close enough for us to hear the clattering. Then the splash soon after the retied sack. Holy shit! Oh my god, what the fuck? Then the splash soon after the retied sack tumbles down the rocks into the water below. We have to go. Nah. Shouldn't we wait for them to leave before running? We all feel the air move across our backs from behind the... We all feel the air move across our backs as the cave behind us wails, and Ralph's expression changes from consternation to fear. They'll smell the smoke. As if unclearly disguised figure raises their head to sniff the air. Then they look towards us, and they bolt to the left. Run! 3 of us hop to our feet and book it out of the cave. What if they're carrying a pistol? I'm not gonna look behind to check. You think they saw us? They definitely saw something. Probably couldn't recognize us. Feel the stinging sensation put on my legs as we keep going. We get to the front of the tunnel, which leads back to the crowded part of the beach, where I do a double take, then stop based on what I'm seeing. The hell? Sam, don't stop running! 2 girls dressed in white dresses are sitting on the rocks staring at me. Keep up the job, but I can't but look back when I pass them. They're gone. Did you see those kids? What kids? Stop and listen. There's definitely a muffled sneeze coming from behind a rock. And I pounce the guy who's over there. High-pitched scream pierces my ears. Let go of me, asshole! I let her go after dodge the swipe she makes at my face. The fuck? There really are little girls running around out here. I wish I was surprised. Mind your business, Dick Stains, unless you're looking for a fight. Was that a switchblade? Whoa, what? Is that any way for a long way to be talking? As if a bunch of weird old men who reek pot have a pace to tell them what to do. Oh, old? I hate kids. Show me you'll be doing your homework. I ain't got shit to do, old man. Besides, my friend is missing. Ralph groans. If you don't score at home, you'll end up missing too, bloody Deb. She spit on him. Ralph made a motion towards her. Ralph, she is a child. You are a grown man. I don't care, I'll beat her ass. I'll beat yours if you had any. We can't stay here, we have to go. Cat takes a look at me as if she's remembering. Oh, it's you. I remember you. Why do you have to go? We might have witnessed a homicide, and they might be chasing us. Oh. How interesting. Not interesting, you're not safe. Very interesting. You must be comfortable with getting tailed by now. What did she mean by that? Focus on him for herself. That's what I wanted in the first place, stupid. We can't just leave a minor on a kind of county like this, it's not safe. And we are? What's up on about now? What? We turned to see where Ralph pointed, but now the black cat had already scaled half the cliffside. How is she that fast? Stop talking and haul ass! The low bottoms were past the canyon tunnel by the more crowded parts of the lake, running past each crowd. Some of them gasped or shouted, asking us who we are. We're gone before we can answer. We keep running even when we make it to the road. And we still keep running even when we're back in town. I slam the door as Murdoch and Ralph do with multiple locks. 3 of us catch our breath in the doorway, heaving. Did we really just see what I think we saw? There's no way to tell for sure. Could have been a lot of things. Ralph folds back the curtains of his window and takes a look. I don't think we're followed. He sighs relief. We should eat something. I'm not hungry. Something blot then. I'll rehydrate some oats and fruit. I'm not hungry either. Since when did I offer? Jesus. Cotton. We all need something in our systems. Never inside was fondness, it suddenly feels a lot harder to be scared. So I start to laugh. What's wrong with you? Nothing at all. Just feels like every time I go out after dark, I'm running for my life. Stupid, really. So I crack up again. You really were going out there, weren't you? Was that your first time puffing cannabis? I just thought it would feel scarier. Blokes come knocking down my door for when they need to calm down. Murdoch tugs at my sleeve. Hey, you should check the picture again. Oh. Yeah, you're right. Put it in my pocket again, surprised it's still not wrinkled. Shit. I still see it too. Me as well. Oh. Oh my god. Holy shit. That's like a fucking snake. It's like Scylla, except Scylla had like 6 heads and whatever. Put the damn thing down and tap my fingers on the counter. So you said before that jerking off was all that took to make it go away? Were you yanking my chain? Was that really true? There's a pause in the air. It did work before. Doesn't mean it would again. And it would be difficult to get the mud off the experience we just had. Harrell filled a pan with water from his kitchen. Think hard for a second. I don't know if it's because I'm in a good mood or if the whiplash of being terrified for my life is causing such a surge of law that I have. But I need to know if they're right about this. Why don't you both pay me tonight then? Excuse me? Sam. This little detail y'all took me on longer than expected. Probably lost opportunity for a customer tonight. But since it's you need to be ready to take care of business, so to speak, why not hire me? Getting folks in the mood is what I'm best at. Ralph and Murdoch put on easy looks as they look at one another. I suppose he has a point. More like he's giving you a point. Ralph, you told me before that you wanted this. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Not right now. Murdoch's tone was stern. I use the bedroom if you have to. I'll fool around when you're both done. There's a tinge of what sounds like frustration in his voice, but I don't have the spoons to be sensitive right now. I want this evil out of me. So I tug on Murdoch's sleeve and he gives me a sly kind of smile. Bedroom's this way. Oh, I hate this. Too dark. Why? Is this your bedroom too? You live with Ralph? Yeah, we split the rent. Why is that so surprising? Jesus, he can still hear us? Of course I can, walls here are people thin. But the outer walls aren't. I'd appreciate if you could at least try to keep it quiet. After a night like that, I think I can hear. I need something loud. Smile at Murdoch. I take my suspenders and take off my shirt. I can do loud. The easy way didn't work, so let's try the hard way. Sam, you can cut the theatrics. Nah, both eyes on me. So I put on my chest watching him. I know his attention is mine when his eyes get glassy, and his Adam's apple bobs and spawn his own spit. Say, not as hard as you expected. My hands slide slower over my trousers and I squeeze my groin. What's wrong? Look, I'm about to unzip my trousers. Bo, you and Ralph admitted you used to spy on me. What day one? Ralph's gruff voice moves on the other side of the walls. All right, folks. I'll give you that he's pretty, but do you have a way to shut him up? I laugh. You kidding me? I was one with the mouthful the first time. Well, I'll surprise him. Oh, that's funny. 'Cause I didn't think so. When somebody's tongue's that excitable, I can tell that needs something. You really should shut up now. He's hard now. His eyes look from me into his pants. He's embarrassed to see that we're not entirely alone this time. That's it. Say slowly, carefully as I grip myself in my pants. You know the motions. Murdoch comes closer until the tip of his nose is touching mine. He doesn't just smell like fear anymore. I said, shut up. I roll my head on my shoulders, laughing at him, watching him with my eyelids half closed, and I push my tongue into his mouth. He yips, thrusting with his hips as I pull off his tie, vest, and shirt. All right, see ya. That was light. Okay, they basically just 69. They sucked each other's cocks, and then they walked out and saw Ralph jerking it too. Fucking hell, that was funny. But when I wake up, he's not here. Okay, so, oh, that's a cute picture. That's a cute picture. Alright, so yeah, that's it for today, guys. I'm done with this video. Thanks for coming, I guess. It is now 10:22 a.m. Started like 8-ish, I think, yeah. Anyway, see ya.